This is Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop
on KRBE.
All right, little update to a story from earlier this week. Elvis Presley's granddaughter, Riley Keough, who's in charge of all things Graceland ever since Lisa Marie Presley passed away, because that was her first child, so it went down to her, not to Priscilla. I said on Monday, Priscilla Presley on her Instagram had put, "It's a scam," over a picture of Graceland, and no caption. So if you weren't following the news, I looked at the comments, of course, straight to the comments, and people were like, "I don't understand what you're talking about." And this one person's like, "What, have you not followed the news?" Well, listen, lives are busy. We had a storm last Thursday. I don't even know what day is it now.
Especially you just got the power on yesterday, finally.
Yeah, finally,
I watched this news report last night, and it broke down the whole thing about Graceland and why she's saying it's a scam.
So the thing is that Graceland, the story was, Graceland's going to get foreclosed on and get sold off. Well, a Memphis judge yesterday blocked the foreclosure auction that was supposedly going to happen today. The whole thing comes from a company called Nausani. Is that how you say it right? Nausani or Nasani? What'd they say in the
Dasani
news story?
The water company did this?
No, Nasani.
I think the second one.
Nausani. Nasani Investments in Private Lending. They said that the late Lisa Marie Presley put Graceland as collateral on a $3.8 million loan, and when she died, she still owed them money, so they were going to take over Graceland and sell it to get their money back.
Private equity firm is basically how she took out this loan.
Okay.
So then Riley filed an injunction to stop it. She claimed it was a scam and that this firm had forged Lisa Marie Presley's signature. At yesterday's hearing, the judge pretty much backed up that claim because the notary swore he did not notarize Lisa Marie's signature on the deed of trust that the firm provided. After the setback in court, this firm withdrew all claims on Graceland with prejudice, which means they can't be refiled, and now there's talk the FBI might be interested in
They came so close to stealing. They came very close to stealing Graceland.
That's crazy.
The notary said, not only did she not sign it, I've never even met Lisa Marie.
Yeah, that's a big time crime.
Now,
you can't fake a
that's
notary.
A major crime. That was a fraud. They were trying to steal Graceland.
If she allegedly put it up for collateral, did she receive that money? It would be very easy to see if she got
That's
that
how they
money.
probably knew it was a scam, because they're like, we don't even get the money from you. Maybe they didn't get a loan.
Like, where is that money? There would have to be bank records that money was tendered
and
to her.
Elvis's estate is worth a considerable amount of money. If you want to ask Celebrity Net Worth right now while we're doing this, what it's worth, but I believe it's worth in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
That's why she even took a loan.
Lisa
I just
Marie
charged
would not
tickets.
take
$10 more.
Yeah, she's not going to take out a $3.8 million loan against Graceland.
We talked about that earlier this week too, right?
This is a scam.
People going on vacation there. It's like,
oh yeah. I said, have you visited Graceland? It was some stat
it's
about
funny
going to
because
Graceland.
I wonder, like in 50 years, if people
will
still go, but I guess they go because their parents took them or their grandparents took them. Because when did Elvis die?
47 years ago.
I think. Was it
77. He died in August 77, so he's been dead for almost 47 years.
So his big fans are like in their 70s.
They're older, but they also
grandkids.
teach their kids to like it, and his music is relicensed out over and over
when
again.
Elvis died, he was one of those stories where he didn't really die with a lot of. He didn't have a lot of money, but as we learned in the Elvis movie with Austin Butler, he really was financially abused by Colonel Tom Parker. He could have had so much more money than he did. He worked his tail off, and the amount of money he made for the work he did not add up.
Who made the money was his wife, Priscilla Presley. So Graceland, the whole place was falling apart around the time of his death, and he was worth almost nothing.
Wasn't he
towards
with
the
her
end.
when she was like a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Well, she was
14.
She was 14 in Germany when they met.
She was 14 when they met.
I watched that Priscilla movie on the plane, that newest one that probably nobody saw. It's like the latest Priscilla movie, and it's about her.
I think it's on Netflix
only.
or something.
Is it on Netflix now?
One of those streaming.
She was an army kid, like a military kid, and they were based in Germany. And when Elvis was in the army for his time, he would have these parties. And somebody saw her in a diner with her parents and said, "Do you want to come to this party?" And so she goes to this party and doesn't realize Elvis is going to be there.
I have homework, but okay.
Okay, so Elvis is
the
estate,
dad
by
is
the
like,
way.
I don't know about this party. What's this party you're going to? I didn't get to the JLO telemarketer thing. We're going to go on a tangent.
I want to hear that one.
Let's play that. Okay, so
Elvis.
Jennifer Lopez is doing a press conference for a Netflix movie called Atlas that she's starring in. So it's a huge room of press, media, and she's at the table, very much like Notting Hill. Think of Anna Scott at Notting Hill, when horse and hound Hugh Grant stands up and says, "Do you think you'll be staying in the UK indefinitely?"
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? How big that room is with all the press? So that's the visual I get, because those phone farms that call you for scam calls that Kevin's always doing telemarketer turnarounds on, sounds like that. Listen to him getting shut down for asking about the split rumors.
It's real, these rumors. What is the truth?
Thank you so
Para la
much.
prensa mexicana, what is the truth about the situation?
You know better than that. Fine.
Don't come in here with that. Thank you so much.
Gracias, muchas gracias a todos. Llegamos ya al final de la conferencia de prensa. No olviden, por favor,
They're trying to shut him
I'm
down
with him.
and shut him up. But yeah,
Ask
come on.
that question. Why you can't
Why?
tell us how to.
You can't tell us what questions we
I
can and
hate that
cannot
crap.
ask.
And
You
just
know better than that.
And
Yeah,
address
because
it.
that's what people want to know. They don't care about your movie Atlas.
I would address it.
If you answer the question, everyone's going to know you're doing a movie called Atlas.
Yeah.
I had to look it up twice and say, what was the press conference for? So I can tell you guys.
I hate when they do that because
When they
so many
dictate.
times.
That's
oh,
why
you
we
can't ask
stopped
this
doing all
question.
these big interviews.
Celebrity interviews suck.
Listen,
The show
because
does
they're only
celebrity
there to-
interviews. Don't waste your time because they're told what to say.
And I'm going to add to that
It's
real
a
quick.
commercial for whatever they're trying
With
to sell.
Ryan's favorite actor, Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger shut me down when he was promoting The Patriot because I was on
Mel Gibson?
Philly radio. Mel Gibson was the host. I mean, was the star, and Heath Ledger's in that movie, and he was dating Heather Graham at the time. And that's what everybody's talking about. So, we have Heath Ledger on the phone. And of course, I'm going to ask about that because that's the biggest thing about him and Heather Graham. I don't know who Heath Ledger is other than 10 Things I Hate About You.
He
And now
wasn't
he's trying to make
big
this
then.
turnaround. And he's like, really? Really? That's what we're going to talk about? I didn't come here to talk about that. And that's just, I
We're
was
going to talk about you. Nobody knows who you are.
And so then I was like, I was so green in radio. I did not have my spunk to talk back to him. Be like, well, okay, if a lot of people want to know or have some smart, classy thing to say back to him. I just was like looking at Chio. Chio did the show with me. And Chio goes, okay, you're playing this guy from like the American Revolution. Like it just was so
Yeah,
bad.
had to
The
make a
whole
left
interview
turn.
was so bad.
so boring.
Because he was so mad that I even brought up Heather Graham. I'm not talking about that. And we're like, well, that's all anybody cares about because nobody knows who you are.
I put Dream Talk and then celebrities talking about their movies.
Oh, so boring.
Oh my gosh.
so
boring.
boring and lame. They don't.
I mean, I don't really 100% agree with that, Eric.
They're not
because
gonna
if
tell
I
you
had
anything.
not heard a celebrity describe the movie, like
Well, what
I was
you
raised
do,
by Oprah and she
you
always had the
don't-
cast on of the
You
movie.
don't go
Maybe
ro-
want to watch it.
You don't go right for the throat in the beginning. First, you got to let them plug whatever it is they're trying to plug,
But then
and
these
then you hit them with the hard stuff.
Interviewers will ask them, so what was it like working with
Oh,
Mel
yeah, that's the
Gibson?"
worst question in history of interview. Do not do that. What's it like working with Robert De Niro? How about you ask the person that's actually acting and on the mic and interview and talking to you to talk about something else?
What was it like
that's
you
saying,
doing
sorry
it?
we got you instead of Robert De Niro, but tell us what he's like.
And what are they going to say? They're not going to say anything bad.
When I interviewed Britney Spears, it was in the lead up to her and Iggy Azalea's song. So the first question they let me ask was, what was it like working with Iggy
They
Azalea
told
in
you
the
to say it,
video?
right?
They asked me to say that, and they had a whole list of questions. Of course, I went off the list. That's when Britney short-circuited,
Oh, yeah.
and we had to end the
Yes.
interview.
Well, because
Now,
they have
and
to
to
tell her
Kevin's-
what to say.
Yes,
Yes.
to Kevin's point, you had to stick to the questions they gave you for Britney because she was prepared to answer just those questions and could not.
No,
Or
her
not
Not
veer.
really capable of
And
this.
you're right. That's a
synopsis
great way to
didn't
put
go
it.
further. Anything
She's
else.
short
Oh my
circuited.
gosh.
I literally saw this girl short circuit in front of me. Like, I was
am not
waiting for the
programmed to
eyeballs to
respond to
roll
that
back
question.
and reveal some kind of
AI
like red
robot.
eyes.
Oh man! All right, listen,
She was a
Kevin.
fembot.
She was not. She was a fembot, right?
Yeah, and Austin Powers.
Such a good movie.
Wait, she was a fembot in Austin Powers?
Of course she was. Wasn't she? I could have
No,
sworn.
the
I don't
no,
think
she
she
did it.
was.
No.
music
But she
video.
did a
Video.
take on
Yeah.
fembots for something.
Yeah.
Was
I
it
thought
one
she
of
was
her
in the movie.
videos?
I don't think she's actually one of
Wasn't
those.
in it?
Some blonde.
Some
Oh
blonde.
my
some broad.
gosh.
I
Yeah,
think that's the
seriously.
toxic video you're thinking of.
And I'm going to ask her real quick because I know we're running late, but I will ask somebody what's it like working with Robert De Niro if there's someone like us.
Yeah.
Like somebody who's like just
no
got
name.
into the
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my God, your first role was somebody like him.